Emmerdale's Vinny Dingle faces an upsetting dilemma tonight as the fate of evil Mike seems to rest entirely on his shoulders. When the scrap worker receives an unexpected visit from the police, he realizes that Mike is under investigation for extortion. Fans were horrified last week as Mike turned nasty after pretending to befriend Vinny via an online support group. The troubled village favorite had reached out for advice over the internet, as he's feeling confused about his sexuality and imminent wedding to Gabby Thomas. After a couple of in-person meetings, Mike's true agenda became clear as he subjected Vinny to a violent homophobic attack and demanded thousands of pounds in return for keeping his secrets. In Thursday's hour-long episode, two police officers come to see Vinny at the scrapyard and reveal that he's now been linked to an official investigation into Mike's actions. It's revealed that Mike's criminal activities are well known to the police, as he's targeted other men in the same way. However, as Vinny is the only person to have paid Mike via bank transfer, his is the one incident where there's firm evidence. Vinny's tough spot becomes clear as the police explain that Mike could be free to strike again if he doesn't make a formal statement. Sadly, this is the last thing that Vinny wants to do, as he's desperate to make sure nobody finds out about why he was contacting Mike in the first place. Emmerdale shock as Vinny Dingle faces heartbreaking dilemma over evil Mike. Emmerdale fans are bracing for another emotional rollercoaster tonight, as Vinny Dingle becomes the unwilling center of a disturbing police investigation. After weeks of torment at the hands of cruel predator Mike, Vinny is forced to decide whether to speak out and risk exposing his secrets, or stay silent and allow a dangerous man to continue preying on others. It's a harrowing storyline that has gripped viewers, blending deeply personal themes of identity, vulnerability, and shame with the soap's trademark blend of family loyalty and high-stakes drama. For Vinny, who has long been portrayed as one of Emmerdale's most gentle and good-hearted characters, this ordeal marks a turning point. But as the pressure builds, one question remains. Will Vinny find the courage to bring Mike to justice, or will his silence leave the door open for fresh heartbreak? Vinny's hidden struggles. Vinny Dingle has always been something of an underdog in Emmerdale. The scrapyard worker, introduced as Mandy's kind-hearted son, has won fans over with his innocence, humor, and loyalty. Yet behind his easygoing exterior, Vinny has often been portrayed as emotionally vulnerable, struggling to carve out his own identity within the larger-than-life Dingle clan. Recent storylines have highlighted his uncertainty over his future. Despite his engagement to Gabby Thomas, a union that should represent stability and happiness, Vinny has found himself battling confusion about his sexuality. For a character who has always sought approval from others, particularly his family, this internal conflict has been crippling. Reaching out for advice via an online support group was supposed to be a step towards clarity. Instead, it left him exposed to one of the most traumatic experiences of his life. Mike's cruel trap. Mike entered Vinny's life under the guise of friendship. Posing as a supportive figure online, he appeared to listen, reassure, and guide Vinny through his fears. But what began as a lifeline soon became a nightmare. When the pair met in person, Mike's mask quickly slipped. Beneath his charm lay a cruel agenda. He subjected Vinny to a violent homophobic attack, making it clear that his sympathy had been nothing more than a ruse. Worse still, Mike demanded thousands of pounds from Vinny in exchange for silence, threatening to expose his private struggles to the world. For Vinny, the betrayal cut deep. Not only had he been physically assaulted and emotionally manipulated, but he now faced the unbearable fear of his family discovering the truth before he was ready to share it. The extortion left him trapped between shame and survival. The police close in. Tonight's special hour-long episode raises the stakes even higher, as Vinny receives a shocking visit from the police at the scrapyard. Two officers arrive to reveal that Mike is under active investigation for a string of similar crimes. Vinny's heart sinks when he learns that other victims have come forward, but unlike them, his case carries the strongest evidence. Because Vinny paid Mike via bank transfer, there is a clear paper trail linking the predator to extortion. It's a crucial detail that could help put Mike behind bars. But there's a devastating catch. The police need Vinny's cooperation. Without his statement, the evidence remains incomplete, leaving Mike free to strike again. A painful choice. The dilemma facing Vinny is stark. On one hand, he has the power to stop Mike, potentially saving other vulnerable men from enduring the same abuse. On the other, speaking out means exposing the very secrets he has been desperate to hide. The police explain the gravity of the situation. Mike is dangerous, and without Vinny's testimony, their chances of securing a conviction are slim. Yet Vinny's instinct is to retreat. His shame over how he met Mike, and what it implies about his hidden struggles, leaves him paralyzed. For Vinny, this is not simply about justice. It is about identity, family honor, and the fear of rejection. In true Emmerdale fashion, the personal and the dramatic collide in a storyline that feels both intimate and explosive. Gabby's role. At the heart of Vinny's turmoil lies his engagement to Gabby Thomas. The match between Vinny and Gabby has been controversial from the start, raising eyebrows among fans and characters alike. While Gabby is determined to secure her future and protect her position in the Dingle family, Vinny's uncertainty about his sexuality casts a long shadow over their relationship. Gabby remains oblivious to Vinny's secret online conversations, let alone the nightmare that followed. But how long can Vinny keep the truth from her? And if she discovers the extent of his torment, that he was targeted for being vulnerable, confused, and engaged to her under false pretenses, what will it mean for their future together? Gabby's reaction could prove pivotal. Will she stand by Vinny in solidarity, or will she feel betrayed and humiliated? Either way, the fallout promises to ripple through both families. The Dingle family factor. No storyline in Emmerdale is ever complete without the Dingle clan, and Vinny's ordeal is no exception. The Dingles are fiercely loyal, protective, and unafraid of confrontation. If they learn what Mike has done, his days of walking free could be numbered, regardless of whether the police succeed in their investigation. But Vinny's reluctance to confide in his family speaks volumes. He fears their judgment, not just of Mike, but of him. The Dingles thrive on honesty and unity, but Vinny worries that admitting the truth will shatter their image of him. For someone who has always sought to prove himself worthy of the Dingle name, that fear is devastating. The big question is whether Vinny will eventually open up and allow his family to support him. And if he does, how far will the Dingles go to make Mike pay? Themes of identity and shame. What makes this storyline so powerful is its exploration of themes rarely tackled in soaps with such depth. Vinny's struggle with his sexuality, his fear of exposure, and his vulnerability to predators like Mike reflect real-world issues faced by many. By portraying Vinny as both victim and potential hero, Emmerdale highlights the complexity of shame. Speaking out is not just about holding Mike accountable, it's about Vinny finding his voice and reclaiming his identity. For fans, the emotional resonance is undeniable. What lies ahead? As the episode unfolds, Vinny's decision will shape the future. If he agrees to testify, he may finally break free from Mike's grip, but at the cost of revealing secrets he has fought so hard to keep. If he refuses, he will carry the burden of guilt, knowing that others could suffer because of his silence. Whatever path he chooses, the consequences will be life-changing. His relationship with Gabby, his place within the Dingles, and his own sense of self will all hang in the balance. And for Mike, whether justice is served or not, the fallout of his crimes will reverberate through the village, leaving scars that may never fully heal. Why this story matters. Emmerdale has long been praised for tackling tough social issues with sensitivity and impact. From domestic abuse to addiction, the show has never shied away from challenging storylines. Vinny's ordeal is the latest example, shining a spotlight on the dangers of online exploitation and the struggles faced by those questioning their identity. By placing a beloved character like Vinny at the center, the soap ensures viewers feel every ounce of his fear, confusion, and pain. It's storytelling that is both entertaining and thought-provoking, proving once again why Emmerdale remains a cornerstone of British television drama. Final thoughts. Tonight's episode is set to be one of the most emotional of the year. As Vinny wrestles with his conscience, viewers will be on the edge of their seats, willing him to do the right thing while fearing the cost of his honesty. Will he expose Mike and help the police finally end his reign of terror? Or will his silence condemn others to the same fate he has endured? One thing is certain, Vinny Dingle's life will never be the same again. And in Emmerdale, where secrets never stay hidden for long, the truth is bound to come out sooner or later, with explosive consequences for everyone involved.